Just having the pre-made workouts was huge. I knew that it was something that was custom to me, that was helping me achieve my goals, and it wasn't just some like random YouTube thing that I didn't know whether or not the person had credentials. Like, I was able to trust you. Yeah, so my goals started out a little bit more like superficial. I'm in a long distance relationship, and obviously because of the pandemic, I wasn't able to see him for a really long time. So it first started with wanting to just take 1 month to get really, really focused on like getting toned and getting ready to see my partner. We were going to be going to a lot of beaches, so I just wanted to feel really confident. And then it kind of transformed into kind of really being the catalyst to focus more on myself, not only physically, but mentally, spiritually. And I feel like working with Mo has really transformed my goal into being something short-term into being something more long-term, creating like sustainable habits, sustainable changes. So yeah, my goal before was more so just physical, and now it's more so physical body, making sure that my nutrition is adequate and kind of having a more holistic approach.
Awesome.
So I think consistency was probably a really big thing. I have been working out for quite a while now, but I hadn't taken like an official course in a really long time. And being out of college, it's hard finding opportunities to do that. So my workouts were kind of just feeling blah. And I felt like I was always doing the same thing, and I wasn't really feeling that like spark of excitement anymore because it was just always kind of monotonous. So working with you really helped to bring that excitement back into exercising. I've read a lot of books about nutrition, but it was hard to kind of stay focused and translate it all into things that made sense for me. And so working with you, and you were just such a wealth of knowledge with nutrition especially, and you answered all my questions. So I feel like you really helped me to be able to get more consistent with things. There definitely was a fear. I've been thinking about like what it was specifically. I think I just felt a little bit awkward asking for help, having it be the first time, like not necessarily, you know, like in college, just like taking a normal class and kind of doing it with a bunch of other people, but working one-on-one with someone. I had never done that before. So I think just the newness of it, and like having that accountability and being like, oh crap, like, am I ready for this level of accountability? But thankfully you were like super gracious and like sympathetic, but you also had that great balance of like pushing me as well. So I feel like you definitely alleviated that awkwardness that I felt.
Great.
And you took a lot of time to ask me about my goals and like what I needed for that week and what needed to change. And so I felt like just that portion helped a lot with the workouts. And then nutrition wise, you took a lot of time to ask me questions and get curious about like what was keeping me from achieving my goal specifically. Like we talked a lot about eating like sweets at work and like, why do I go to those and what could we do specifically to not necessarily keep me from eating sweets, but keep me from turning to something else in order to alleviate the stress, whether that be taking a healthier snack, taking like a 2-minute break just to check in with myself. We talked a lot about like timing of food. So that really helped me to be able to make better choices when I was eating, try not to eat when I got off work at midnight, those kinds of things. And then talking a lot about, I'm vegan, so talking a lot about protein and how to get those in and making sure that I was getting all my macros in right. I've never been able to lose weight like really fast, even when I was working out like a ton. So that wasn't really super important to me. But I did end up losing like 5 pounds overall, which is good, I guess. And yeah, but more than that, I feel like my results really came mentally because like I said before, like this was really the catalyst to kind of jump back into my holistic health. So like because we kind of started working on my health more internally, like now I wake up like and I want to meditate and I like want to work out, and someone will be like, oh, do you want to go out for breakfast tomorrow at like 9 a.m. and I'm like, oh, I usually work out at 9, like could we go a little bit later? So I'm kind of I recognize the importance of all of these aspects of my life, and it's made me a lot more willing to fight for those things that I know are going to be good for me. And I feel like before this time, this like intensive time with you, I knew that they were good for me, but it was hard to make time for them because I just hadn't been disciplined enough. And so this really allowed for like the positive feedback to keep me going. I would say just do it. I would say if there's like, I feel like with fitness things, a lot of times people are just scared of being judged, or maybe there's like a lot of shame there, like, oh, I've tried like having X diet or X like workout plan and like I never get it right. And then it just creates this like cycle of shame and fear of feeling more shame and then the guilt that goes along with it. And I feel like you are just not like that. Like you're not judgmental. You work with people. You really try to get to the root of their goals and how to achieve those. So yeah, I would just tell them to just let go of all of those negative thoughts and just really be willing to be open to working with you.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that so much.